So I have my goldenrod that's been drying for a little bit. It's in this bigger pan. It was in this bag made for beer making. It's got a little drawstring thing here. It's pretty large, as you can see. It's pretty big. So you can shove the whole plant in, dunk it in some water, rinse things off, and soak it if you want to for a while, and you're good to go. And hang it up to dry out. Making a big mess here. So I've got my jar sitting in here because this is messy. This is a ½ gallon, and I'm gonna put about 2 cups, I think, of my dried yarrow. Been drying yarrow for a while and collecting it. So let's see. And I think you're supposed to have a little more than half your jar with oil. I don't really do it that way. I kind of made my own thing up. Press it down. I like it to be a little bit stronger, so there's 2 cups. It seems to work better that way for me. I haven't had any problems yet, so I got 2 cups of yarrow. I'm gonna go for 2 cups of goldenrod. This jar holds 8. I don't know if I said that. I'm gonna start off with 2 cups, and I think I'm gonna go for 3. Still got room. I've got another ½ gallon jar. I'm going to put what's left over. And then I've got some storage containers too. I'm going to store some of this. That's a little much. Wait, 4? No, it isn't. 5. Okay. I've got my jar here. So the idea of it is it should be able to allow the oil to get in and around it, and you're going to have more oil actually from it too, but it's supposed to release medicinal properties better if it has a lot of oil. I tried it that way. I don't know, it doesn't seem to really do a lot for me that way. Shake this up a little bit. Aerate a little bit. That's gonna help. Alright, got my jar. Loosened it up to help the oil get in a little bit better. I've got my big container of olive oil. I think this is extra virgin. You don't have to be, you don't have to use extra virgin. Whatever your heart desires, whatever you're planning on using in your salves is what you need to use. I've used coconut and olive oil together. Olive oil seems to do better in the jar. I'm not sure why. I've done this maybe 10 times, so I'm not a professional. I'm just starting out here, so I'm just telling you what I've learned so far. So here we go. Start pouring it in, and I've got my metal stick over here so I can stir around and make sure it's going in everywhere, because I don't know if you can see this, but it's not quite getting everywhere, so it's going to take a bit. You can see it there, I think, a little better. This is a new container of oil. This is what? 101 fluid ounces. So let's see how much of this oil it uses. And I'm going to fill it up to the rim up here, to the 8-cup mark. Before I fill it up though, I'm going to stir a little bit. You can see there's bubbles. Let me see that. There's some bubbles popping. Just air release them. Just eyeball it and look at the sides and make sure that everything's all in there. Pour some more oil on up to the rim here. I usually make a big batch, so this is 101 ounces, and it is there. Use this, most of this container to give you an idea. I'm just going to stir it a little bit. Make sure I haven't missed any bubbles. You want your herbs to be completely dry, because if they are wet, you run the risk of bacteria and things growing. Your oil can go rancid too, and if you leave it in the windowsill too long. Usually 4 weeks is what I've done before. That seems to work. And I have to have gotta have a cloth to put over it. Bear with me. So I've got a lid for it. I've got the ring. I'm going to label it, but I'm not going to cover it completely. You want to let it air out a little bit. You want airflow in there. I have capped it off before and opened it up, and I had things growing on top. You want to make sure that your herbs are completely covered. That's one reason I believe they say to keep your herbs down lower, like I didn't do. As long as your herbs are covered, you shouldn't have any issues. The time that I had things growing on mine, I had a couple sticks of herbs sticking up out of above the line of the oil, so I'm a little distracted. My dogs are pacing back and forth here. Sorry. So you leave it in a you leave it in the warm windowsill, Lord have mercy, for 4 weeks. I have a towel here, an old towel, it's clean, and I'm going to, I have more washcloths that I usually use, so I'm going to just use it this way. That way the sunshine can heat up this side, and set that to the side. And then I'm just going to do this. Maybe, maybe not. Idealistically, you want to stir it daily. Just make sure you watch it and make sure it's not growing anything and your oil hasn't gone rancid, because it can still go rancid even though your herbs are below the oil. I think that's what I'm going to get right there. It's holding it on. And make sure it's getting plenty of sunshine to keep it warm, because the heat from the sun is what's going to draw it out. I have done it on the stovetop and in the crock pot before with different herbs, and it doesn't seem quite as strong as doing it in the windowsill for 30 days. Make sure you mark your calendar. Do not forget about it, because you will regret that decision. You will regret that, and then you won't know when it's ready to pull out of the window. That's from experience. So anyway, this will sit in the windowsill for 30 days. After that, we will take it out, we'll strain it, and then we will make some sap out of it. So, I'll see you back in 30 days. Thanks for watching.